Please note the special tools and parts required for this procedure. Disconnect the vacuum relief valve. Unscrew the rocker cover screws and remove the rocker cover. Remove the rocker cover gasket and the breather sleeve. Unscrew the fuel rail mounting screws and remove the fuel rail from the injection pumps. Remove the O-ring seal from the top of the injector pump where the waste valve is located. Insert the special black rubber gasket provided with the equipment in its place. Install the tool on the injection pump. Position the dial gauge holder onto the rocker arm pivot support stud. While screwing it on, make sure the dial gauge sensor is on the top spring support ring of the exhaust valve. Assemble the valve lowering tool. Place a suitable container for fuel under the tool's tube. Connect an external tank to the tool using a rubber tube. Turn the engine crankshaft clockwise until the injection cam pushes the injector pump rocker arm. While applying pressure on the tool lever, push the valve so it makes contact with the piston. At the same time, alternate turning the engine crankshaft around the point where the dial gauge needle goes backwards, establishing top dead center of the piston. Reset the dial gauge to 0, making sure you remember position of the two needles when the piston is at TDC. Release pressure on the tool's lever. Drip feed the injection pump. Rotate the engine crankshaft half a turn in a counterclockwise direction, then slowly clockwise. The release of fuel from the tube decreases until it almost stops. This is the advance timing point. Lower the tool's lever until reaching point 0 on the dial gauge, so while increasing pressure on the lever, we bring the valve into contact with the piston while measuring how many millimeters it has decreased from TDC. Check the conversion table to see how many degrees of advance timing correspond to the piston lowering millimeters on the dial gauge. In the millimeter column, look for the closest value to the one detected, then intersect the degrees column on the same row and read the equivalent figure. Check the correct advance timing value for the engine in the service manual. In this case, 12 degrees corresponds to 1.11 millimeters before TDC, therefore it needs to be adjusted. By using a lever on the tool, reset the dial gauge to a value of 0 of TDC. Then push the valve again to make contact with the crown of the piston. Maintain this contact while turning the engine crankshaft counterclockwise until you position the piston at a distance from TDC that corresponds to the desired degrees of advance timing. Feed the pump. Unscrew the adjuster screw to release a constant flow of fuel from the small tube of the tool. Screw the adjuster back on until you almost completely reduce the flow of fuel. The perfect position leaks at 24 drops per minute. Tighten the injection advance timing adjuster nut. Check again to make sure the injection advance timing value is correct. The detected value of 1.07 mm corresponds to 12 degrees. Recheck and adjust all the injector pumps while adjusting the injection advance timing to the same value. Then remove the special tools. Replace all the O-rings. Reinstall the fuel rail. Tighten the screws. Replace the rocker cover gasket. Insert the breather connection sleeve. Add silicone sealant as illustrated. Reinstall the rocker cover. Reinstall the screw and tighten to 12 Newton meters. Reconnect the vacuum relief valve.